Hello and welcome back to Born Again Bikes. So today, this is the second instalment of the UK RGV250M 1991 model that I've got. The one that is in boxes, or was, still is. And today we're going to go through plastics in preparation for sending them off to paint. Now the thing is, when most people restore a bike, they do the bike, so they get the chassis rolling, get the engine done, get it all built, and then they go, okay, let's get the paint done. But actually, in my experience, that's the wrong way to go about things. Really, you should get your paint off first, because A, painters are notoriously slow. B, when painters do jobs, they tend to batch them. So if you've got another Suzuki RGV or a GSXR and they use the same colours, they prefer to paint all those things at once. And C, painters don't like being minded, and they're all the same, and they'll admit it themselves. So just got a plane going over. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to just run through. I've made my selection because I've got a lot more plastic than this. I've made my selection of the best ones, and I'm going to just strip off any furniture, screws, fasteners, brackets, you name it, tank cap, etc. And then I'm going to give them a good deep clean and a wash, ready for going to the painter. So what I might do is I'll grab the camera and I'll just run through the selection I've made. Some of them I had Hobson's choice because I've only got one mudguard, I've only got one nose cowl, I've only got one tank, V-piece, etc. But as far as side panels and tail pieces were concerned, I've got a wide selection of those and I've chosen the best. So let's have a little run through. Right, so as I said, there's quite a few of these. I've only got one item. So the tank is in really good condition, no dents. Even got the barcode still underneath. So that tank really is perfect. Just a rubber missing there on the right hand side. There's one on the left. I have got one of those, so that's no big deal. I'll strip it off the paint anyway. The tap will come off, all the rubbers, and I might even just give it a quick going over on the inside. I need to grab the key and just see what it's like inside. I know it's in this horrendous St George's Cross paint scheme, which obviously the bike was a complete bike like that once, which is quite tragic. Nose cowl, that's all perfect. That really is perfect, actually. No damage at all. I'll just take out the light and the bracket that holds the light, and that can go. Whoop. Okay, so we've got, moving on to the, do the mudguard first. The mudguard, actually, the mudguard is an item that is coloured plastic. So on the logbook, the bike is a black UK M model. So they came in black and silver, aka that side panel. Basically just black decals. Black paint, silver decals. And the blue and white 3-stripe, which this bike's going to be, the classic colours. So that'll be painted dark blue. And in fact, I'll just strip out the bracket underneath. That'll go for blasting, powder coating. In fact, actually, the only bits that aren't, the whole paint job is quite an easy paint job because it's white all over, apart from the mudguard is blue and the top of the tank is dark blue. Everything else is done in decals. So as for the painter, it's quite an easy job, relatively. They won't like me saying that. Moving on to the V piece. This came intact, which is a miracle because these things are extremely hard to find. But that one, apart from the heat shield, which I've got some of that, so I'll be getting that heat shield off so the painter can paint inside as well, because I want everything painted inside white to keep it nice and tidy. And then I've got some heat shield to stick on afterwards. Moving on to the tail piece. So this is really good because this is a rare piece, hard to get hold of in this condition with all the tabs on it. So I'll just strip off. I'll even strip this foam off so that the painter can do a proper job. But that's in really good condition. So then, really, all I've got is left-hand side panel, right-hand tailpiece side panel, left-hand side and right-hand side fairing panels. So this black one is the only, this and the mudguard is the only original coloured item left from the bike being standard. So it's in perfect condition, this left-hand one, so nothing needed at all. 2 tabs are on it, no filler. Obviously the correct model year because it's off the original bike. 3 vent, perfect. That's an absolutely perfect side panel. It's only got a tiny scratch there. Apart from that, you could probably teak up this back, put it back on a bike. It's that clean and tidy. Left hand, a little bit different. So the left hand one, let's move that. The left hand one is in good condition, excellent condition, apart from being in St George's Cross. However, everything's good. However, it's got a slight repair there which can be repaired again, and one of those tabs that plugs into the frame, one of them's missing there. So what I'm going to do, I've got a spare right hand panel here, and likewise, in fact, looking at it, likewise this one's got the same tab missing, so that's perfect. But actually, I've got a bit mixed up there. I'm going to use, even though this one is better on the outside, it doesn't matter. It's got a repair there. I lifted the St George's Cross one out, actually, to use the tab off. This one's in the same predicament with the tab missing. And I know the outside's tragic, it's all bubbled, but the actual panel is in really good condition. So we can get the painter to cut that tab off and plastic weld it, glue it back onto there. And that panel is actually the one I'm going to use. So that's the sail piece sorted. So the only other thing to look at are the 2 side panels. Yet again in this lovely St George's Cross, but excellent condition. I think these must be the originals off the bike that were black, because they're black inside and the date tallies. So absolutely perfect panel, no damage whatsoever, excellent condition. Even these little tangs, I'd call them, they just locate around the V piece into those slots on the side. Even they're in place. However, the right hand panel, which is excellent, still excellent condition, Inside, really good, no damage, apart from all those tangs are missing, which is a shame. Now I'm going to have a word with the painter, Mark, to see if he can fabricate, glue some more tangs on, because it really does help the belly pan to locate the V-piece, to locate better. I don't think it'll be a problem because it's just a little bit of glue on that needed. So we're in pretty good order there. That obviously isn't an original panel because it's white inside. So there's a bit of a couple together when we were trying to do this George's cross paint job. So that's it. I'll spend a bit of time now stripping all the furniture off, and then I'll give them a thorough clean, and I'll have a quick run over them and show you what they look like before they go to paint. So here we have the tank. I've just given it a quick wipe over. I've not stripped it yet because it's in pretty good condition inside. However, there are little bits of rust, as is normal for a bike of this age. So I've put the old deoxy rust remover crystals and fluid in it, and you give it a good shake and let it do its business for 24 hours. It's even biodegradable and you can use it again. So I've got a big barrel that I put it back into, but I'll strip the tank down tomorrow, and then this can go with the rest of the plastics to the painter. So yeah, I've got to get the tap off, the rubbers out, the cap off, and the vent mechanism. Right, so here we are. This is a complete set for an RGV250. So I've stripped the furniture out of them, so the headlight's gone, all the clips, brackets, inside the mudguard, the frame, any lugs that had tabs on, you name it, they've gone. So we're at bare plastics now, ready to paint, because I've washed them and given them a thorough degrease. So I was actually thinking, the way these three in particular cleaned up, the England St George's flag, I think it looks quite good. What do you think? Should we keep it? Nah. So how can we do that? They've had a wash all over the outside, but mainly the insides. So a good degrease. They're all going to get painted white inside. The nose cones come up beautiful, really clean inside. All the threads are intact, so that's good. This one was a white panel, so that one's a bit easier for the painter. The two tricky bits are the mudguard, because that's black plastic. It's painted on the outside, but it's actually plastic. Black plastic on the inside. Well, it's all black plastic, but it's painted on the outside, so that needs painting dark blue inside and out. And the other piece that's black plastic is this left-hand side panel. That's the original colour of the bike, as I mentioned earlier. So that one will need painting white inside, but that one's perfect. All the lugs are on it, no broken tabs, perfect piece that. And this one, yeah, extremely bubbly, but it's in perfect condition. The only thing that's missing is one of those lugs snapped off, which they all do. So I've got spares on another panel, so the painter can cut one off and weld it onto there. And then we've got the T-piece, which is completely stripped, even taking the foam off it, re-glue those on or put some new foam on. And then the V-panel, which, as we know, was in perfect condition. So that's it. That is a full set for an RGV250. So The next time you'll see this, it'll be in the traditional classic white and 3 stripes, different coloured blues of an M mod 1991 M model. I'll be getting these to the painter Mark next week and leave them with him for a couple of months, see what he comes up with. So I'm trying to do the best I possibly can. This is a good test bed to see what knowledge I've learned and how good I've got at restoring, because I want this to be as close to factory as I can possibly get it. So next time you'll see me, we'll start going through mechanical bits. Don't know what yet, but if any of you got any suggestions of what you want to see, let me know on the comments. I'll see you in episode 3.